Welcome to our RFP Money Story podcast, a space for sharing real money stories and where we dive into real conversations about finance, success, and the lessons learned along the way. Today's guest is a registered financial planner and a member of RFP for 11 years. Please welcome Ms. Jhoana Ruiz. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Hi, all right. So before we dive deeper into your RFP certification, let me just ask you first about your personal money journey or your financial mindset. So first thing is, what's your first memory of money and how did it shape your financial mindset?
So my first deep memory of money was after college when I decided that I will pursue my further studies. So it was tough. Halos wala ako laging pera. And I'm always anxious.
Mm-mm.
Um, I was only 19 at that time when I told myself that I will continue this up until my doctorate program because if I won't do this now, I might lose interest. And at that time, I really don't know what I was about to face. On top of the pressure of being good at my first job and, of course, being a well-performing graduate student. So, 'di ba after college, when after you graduate, you're on your own. You will start to shoulder your own expenses. And if you're a mindful son or daughter, you will also contribute to the household expenses. And for me, that would be the internet bill. So my first job was at Lyceum of the Philippines University, Cavite campus. I am a college instructor. And of course, I started with a very modest salary. So I would remember that there were a lot of times that every time that I would get my salary, it would go straight to paying for my tuition fee. And ang dami ring beses I would remember that I would bring my own sandwich to lunch because I have to be frugal. And thank God, at the age of 24, natapos ko yung PhD ko. And that season really taught me two things. First is you finish what you started, no matter how hard it is. And second is the best investment that you can make is in yourself. So, all the lessons and the sacrifices from that time really shaped my financial mindset deeply.
Okay, so you mentioned a while ago na your first salary, parang napupunta siya sa tuition fee. Is that for PhD or college na talaga?
MBA and PhD.
Okay. So when you were college, like college talaga yung bagets
Mhm.
pa.
My parents are still supporting me, but 'di ba in the Philippines, after college you're on your own, ikaw nang
Oo.
bahala.
Oo.
So, when I decided that I will continue this, wala nang support from the
Mm.
parents. So,
Pero were you in college, how do you manage your money? Since coming from allowance siya.
naturally very frugal. So, I'm very thankful kasi yung lola ko yung babayad sa tuition fee and then yung parents ko sa everyday allowance and just a typical college student who is not really thinking about should I save up for this, for that? Because of course you're still depending on your parents. But after that, it's really different. So
But are you like a college student na kapag may nakukuhang allowance, iniipon hanggang sa magkaroon ka ng, savings on your own?
yes, at the same time, yung baon ko kasi kumbaga sometimes sakto lang.
Oo.
LPU Cavite and almost half of it goes to transportation already. So if I would save up for something, matagal talaga siya. But yes, to answer that, I'm very frugal and yeah, I save up if I want something for myself.
I see. So growing up, what are your financial lessons na sana nalaman mo agad or something na you had learned earlier?
Okay. I am still pretty young when I became an RFP. I'm 32 now. I'm only 22 when I became an RFP.
Okay.
And after I finished the program, I've tried a lot of things, a lot of savings and investing strategies. So let us try to recall and um, enumerate. I tried to invest. I became a co-investor for a small coffee shop business.
At
Uh,
22?
yes.
Okay, interesting.
Sa church yon. So, some of my church friends decided that they wanted to put up this coffee shop. The name is Coffee Books. So that's the first one. Second, this is more on the saving side, but you can judge me here. This is I tried to open an account to all the traditional banks here in the Philippines. I don't know. I just thought it's a good thing to do. I had two VUL policies. I tried stock market investing and I tried UITFs. So those were a lot. And just to clarify, those were just small amounts because I'm still very young and I'm still studying for my MBA that time. But I tried that because I thought being an RFP means that I need to know them all. I need to try them all and I need to look like someone who has it all together. So I was wrong because it's overwhelming. Now, if I could go back to answer that question, I will tell myself to do less but do it well. Kaya ngayon naniniwala ako sa principle na it's not about doing more things right, but it's about doing the right things more.
Okay, so lahat ng yan nangyari nung 22 years old ka?
Yes.
Okay.
Around 21, 22, 23.
And
Those years.
then, did you surround yourself to someone na financially educated? Or did you consult to someone?
That was after the RFP program. So I was very much inspired by all our amazing mentors. That's why I was motivated. Okay, I will try all this. Yun.
Ano yung motivation mo? Bakit nag-invest ka at a very young age? Nag-stock market ka? Nag-RFP ka?
Yeah, just like what I told you earlier, I became an RFP at a very young age, and I thought, since a lot of people are now asking me what's a good investment, so I thought the right thing to do is to try everything. Yeah, that's just my motivation because I became an RFP and I gave this pressure to myself that okay, I have to try this because some people are counting on me now. They thought I'm giving a sound advice. So I can only give a sound advice if I will try them out. Yeah.
So you opened a lot of bank accounts. And you mentioned na you think that it's a good thing. Ano yung good thing na yun?
No, actually, going back, natatawa ako kasi pag-iisipin ko, ano nga ba yung reason? Bakit yun ginawa? I just really thought that kailangan meron ako dito sa lahat ng banks na to. I thought to compare at first, but actually it's just the same. So I don't have really a good answer to that.
Okay, so that actually leads to my next question. If you consider yourself as a saver, spender, or investor?
I would say I am all three. I try to save, I try to invest, but I also spend. Right now, I consider myself as a financial minimalist. But I still don't deprive myself. I still have fun for fun money because let's face it, there were a lot of things that we can only experience if we pay for it, right?
Okay, gusto ko lang educate natin yung maging listeners natin and viewers. What is financial minimalist?
Okay. Financial minimalism is a process of simplifying your finances. It means only sticking to what is essential, and it also means that you spend based on your values. So it also means removing unnecessary expenses, eliminating your debt, or just maintaining few accounts.
So ever since you started your career as a college instructor, right? Yun yung first job mo. Was there a turning point financially?
I was still on that same season when I'm still starting out, and all the lessons from those mistakes didn't really sink in with me right away. Eventually, all those scattered efforts caught up with me, and I became this what I call an investment hoarder. And what I did for the turning point is I downsized. I let go of all those accounts. And yun nga, that's where financial minimalism take root for me.
So, ano yung changes nung nag-take down ka ng mga bank accounts?
It's freeing. First of all, emotionally and mentally. Because before, I'm thinking about how can I see the return from this investment. I'm always stressed. And for example, for that coffee shop business, it failed. So there are a lot of source of stresses. If you are investing in a lot of things, ang dami mong kailangang isipin. And the changes is, it's just really freeing for me. I can sleep well at night. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, during your, yung prime era mo when investing to something, coffee shop, college instructor, and then nag-open ka ng maraming accounts. So, I assume na that time nakakapag-ipon-ipon ka, but at the same time, it affects you mentally and financially, right? So, what is the best financial advice na you get from someone or kahit sa book or nabasa mo lang na nag-a-apply pa rin siya or nag-instill pa rin siya in your financial mindset?
Uh, this is not really finance focused, but one piece of wisdom that I carry with me came from Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, where he said that the better ambition comes from the ability to develop one's character instead of one's status or power. Status you can lose, but character you carry with you wherever you go. So I think it applies deeply to finance as well, because when it comes to investing or managing your money, you need to have the ability to really study and prepare before you risk your money. And second, you need to have a strong character to stay grounded no matter how the market conditions change. So at the end of the day, it's one's character and ability rather than one's status and power that will give someone financial freedom.
Okay, so up until now, yan pa rin yung
Yes.
parang motto mo when it comes to finance. Are you interested in financial field pa? Kaya ka nag-RFP and nag-invest at a very young age?
Yes, very much interested, lalo na yung personal finance. Yeah.
Okay. So, na-mention mo yung, kasi next questions will be about investments. And earlier you mentioned about investing to a lot of stuff. So, up until now, are you investing into something?
Yes, but I only maintain two. First is stock market investing. More specifically, I do dividend investing. And I only hold 3 stocks, being a minimalist nga. So, more time to study them, right? Uh, than having a lot. Another one, I'd rather keep private, but just a clue, I'm very risk averse now. So, yeah, right now, I just only maintain two from 5 or more before. Just two.
Yung mga before, wala na yun? Or may na-maintain ka up until now?
Yung stock market investing.
Yun lang yun
But
natira.
the others, it failed, but it gave me a lot of lessons. So, no regrets.
Okay, so ngayon na RFP ka na, do you think if you're going to, if babalik tayo sa time na yon na mas educated ka na when it comes to financial planning, do you think it will work?
The irony is, I did all of that after RFP.
Oo.
So, since I'm very hungry to learn everything, but I'm not blaming RFP, because it's a good thing, right? That after RFP program, I tried all of these things. But then again, I will stick to my answer earlier that if I can go back, I will tell her, hey, slow down, do less, but do it well. You study them first.
Okay. So how do you balance naman yung risk and your rewards when it comes to financial decision?
I balance it by really knowing myself. So before I tried aggressive investing, right? But it doesn't work for me anymore. So I shifted my strategy, and right now my investing principle is threefold. First, secure your basics. Second, invest in the long term as much as possible. And third, only risk what you can afford to lose.
Okay. So, right now, ano yung currently money goal na tinatry mong i-achieve pa rin or na-achieve mo na?
Right now, to stick to our financial strategy, that is easy and not overwhelming to just stick to that two investments. But to be more specific, my prayer really is for our investments to cover our basic expenses. I know sobrang matagal pa yun, but I believe that would give me so much peace of mind if it will happen. And my plan to do that is, of course, to stay with this kind of lifestyle. It's just a simple lifestyle to be a minimalist still, but don't deprive, doesn't depriving myself. And I think one principle that we often forget is also the power of giving. I add that to my formula because when we give, there's a lot of times in my life na napatunayan ko that when I share my blessings, when I give, blessings follows. And actually not like this before kasi bunso ako. And being a bunso, I have three older brothers. They give everything to me if they can, but I was really influenced by my husband because he's a natural giver. And I saw I saw the good things that comes after that. When we give and we share what we have, lalo kaming nabibless. And yeah, if I would share to anyone, uh, wag mong ipagdamot yung mga nakukuha mong blessings.
Okay. So, kasi yung next question ko is about your personal, yung pang-personal mo na budgeting. How do you handle that? Kasi kanina na-mention mo is for stocks. And now, how about yung personal? Is that yung included ba yung pagbibigay mo o yung pag-share ng blessing?
Yeah, our budgeting is very simple. To be more specific, we maintain a 1-year budget, not a monthly budget. If there's an opportunity for me to reduce decision making, I do it. So it's very simple, just 1-year budget. We allocate money for 1 year, and then we save for emergency expenses, we invest, and there's an allocated money that we can give to our family members or friends, whoever needs it, and that's it. Actually, we try not to complicate things too much. It's very simple, and the goal is really to just create a system that we can consistently stick to. But you know what really inspired me to that way of thinking is this principle based on Roy Disney, which is the older brother of Walt Disney. So according to him, when your values are clear to you, making a decision becomes easier. So, I always try to remember that because it's very true. Pag kilala mo yung sarili mo, when you know your values, it's easier to make a decision even when it comes to your finances. So, 'di ba we have this more than 230 values as identified by Scott Jeffrey. So, what I did was I identified 5 values that really resonated with me. And for me, number one, that is compassion. I'm trying to be compassionate, not just to humans, but to animals. Second is efficiency. I'm trying to be efficient with my work, with everything that I do. Third value is financial responsibility. So being an RFP, I really wanted to be responsible with managing our finances. Fourth is peace. That's why I value alone time so much. And 5 is privacy. So I also firmly believe that we must not overshare, even to our friends.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Kasi, na-mention mo rin kanina yung you have yearly budget.
Yes.
Kasi usually naririnig ko monthly eh. Kasi ang income is monthly din. So does that mean na you have enough savings for a year?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So how do you handle that naman, yung yearly budget?
I'm very traditional. It's in cash. So this might be a controversial topic because it's not the usual way
Mm-hmm.
the other people are saving up. But I'm not trying to be insensitive or arrogant or boastful, nothing like that. Sabi ko nga, I just wanted to eliminate decision making as much as possible. So every October, we withdraw our next year's budget
Every
in
October?
cash. Then I keep it, and then it will be divided into 12. And per month, there is an allocated purpose for that money. And that's it.
Ah, so lahat wini-withdraw niyo siya in cash. Paano niyo siya kinikip?
I have this notebook
Ah, okay.
where
Yung
you can put your
insert lang.
insert.
Alright. So, next question is, since you have a husband right now, is there a difference or mako-compare mo ba yung personal financial growth mo nung single ka and up until now na may husband ka? Kasi syempre pag may husband, shared na yan eh. Dalawa na
Correct.
kayo. Unlike nung single ka pa.
So before, I used to travel a lot solo. So if I have some spare money, I'm more for risk taker kasi. So before, in my early 20s, so if I have some spare money, I will just spend it for myself. And I don't need to consult anyone, even my parents, because um, they're not strict. So my financial situation before is, this is after graduation na ng PhD because sabi ko nga I'm very frugal until 24. So 25 to 30, I spend a lot on traveling, but I save and invest. After getting married, the first one that we set up is a joint account. So we have that. And we are both from a very matriarchal family. Ibig sabihin, yung mga nanay namin yung nag-handle ng money. So, what happened was, he asked me, can you handle our finances? And being an RFP, of course, I'll handle that. But I want to be transparent, kaya joint account. So, every month, we just get money from that allocated amount, and then he knows how much our emergency fund is. He knows everything because no matter what happened to both of us, transparency is important, right? So the difference is before I only think about myself, now I also think about him. And as the Bible says, you submit to your husband, right? So I don't concede anything from him. We have two cards, so it's a joint account and it's an or, not an and. So anyone can withdraw. So, yun.
Okay. So, since ikaw yung RFP, is your husband is also open when it comes to finance? Or ikaw lang talaga yung parang accountant sa
Yes.
household niyo?
Basta ganito kasi, every month there's an allocated money for food and other expenses, bills, money that we share. Meron kaming money for date nights, pero hindi naman sobrang laki, just to enjoy once in a while. And we have separate allowances. So, every month, I just give him his allowance. And he doesn't ask me anymore, saan ba tong napunta? No, walang ganun sa amin. We trust each other so much. And yeah, I'm very blessed because just every month he's just waiting for his allowance.
I see. So, do you consider naman na, you know, parang i-welcome ni si husband sa RFP just in case?
If he wants to, yeah, of
Pero
course.
napag-usapan niya yun.
No, because he's so much into music and into video editing. That's his job, video editing. So, he has a lot of interest. And kapag napag-uusapan yung pera, lagi yung sabi, ikaw na yan.
Do you have your own business or stocks talaga?
Stocks lang.
So parang, kasi parang, are you self-employed?
Yes.
Does that mean na you're more focused on stocks talaga?
No, so I'm registered now in BIR as self-employed, and I have a main client which is from overseas. I work from home. I'm a corporate operations coordinator.
Okay.
And for passive income, the stock market investing, and sometimes I get invited to speak. And yeah, those are my sources of income.
Okay,
Those three.
so you mentioned na nai-invite ka sa mga events. What do you usually talk about?
Uh, you know what? This is one thing that I really wanted to talk about. Maybe just an opportunity also, because for 11 years, I have experienced a lot of things that I never thought I would experience if I didn't become an RFP. For example, I became a resource speaker at the national conference for all the cooperatives here in the Philippines. So I talk about personal finance. I flew to Isabela, all expense paid, with a huge amount of honorarium, and just to talk about financial literacy also. And then because of RFP, I became a financial consultant also at the city government of Imus. Um, Became a writer. I just last May, I became a part of the CBOL program of the Department of Trade and Industry, where I talk about financial aspect of the business planning. And I can't remember everything else because it's been 11 years, but I'm so blessed because I don't think those things will happen if I don't carry the RFP badge.
So, parang, ewan ko, ikaw yata yung youngest na na-interview ko so far na ang tagal na sa RFP. Now, let's talk about being an RFP. What motivated you? Kasi you start 22?
Yes.
What motivated you to join RFP?
Um, that was 2014 when Mr. Randall Tiongson visited our church. And that time he was promoting his book, No Nonsense, where he talks about personal finance and the RFP program. And I became very interested. And I think when you're young, you're very much of a risk taker. You don't overthink things. So I just enrolled. But I remember I have a dilemma that time. Bilang bata pa nga ako, I'm really afraid to go to Manila alone. So, duwag ako magbiyahe. So, what happened was, my father would accompany me every Saturday to Crown Plaza. So, he will wake up at 4 a.m., babiyahe kami. And those were 8 Saturdays. You know what? He will just wait for me all day sa hotel lobby. Wala pa kaming kotse that time. Ko-commute lang kami, makakauwi kami gabing-gabi na. So, what I'm trying to say is, I think I was motivated by my desire to learn talaga. But if it weren't for my parents' support, I wouldn't become an RFP at a very young age.
Okay. So, parang may support, may parent support din yung pag-join mo ng RFP.
Yes, imagine, sasamahan ako din
From
for,
Cavite.
oo, 8 hours maghihintay lang siya sa may lobby. So, I really appreciate that. And until now, I always tell that story na my parents are one of a
Yeah,
kind.
actually, ang napaka-supportive nila in fairness.
I'm a menopausal baby. So, ano na sila ngayon, 72. Bunso ako.
Okay.
And, ayun, siguro that's why I'm a bit, kumbaga, sobrang protective sila sa akin.
Pero yung brothers mo, are
Tatlo.
they also exposed to finance?
No,
So,
hindi.
ikaw lang talaga.
Mm.
Do you, I don't know, parang educate them financially or share your knowledge about finance to them?
Yes, yes, of course. So, yung isang kuya, teacher din siya before. By the way, I'm an educator for 11 years. Kaka-shift ko lang ng career. So, sa akin sila nagtatanong, is this a good investment? But the difference now is, before, if you would ask me, I will go the extra mile to study them and to try them out. But now, if I don't know something, I'm not afraid to say I don't know anymore. So, yun, I think it's part of being a financial minimalist that you're only comfortable with sharing what you really understand.
Mm-mm.
If you don't know something, don't be afraid to admit that I'm sorry, I don't have an idea. So, yun.
Okay, so for 11 years na RFP member ka, is there a specific lesson na nag-instill pa rin sa'yo up until now?
Mm.
During your, I don't know, presenting your paper?
Um, I have learned so many things from RFP, but I think one realization stood out. I think this is something that is intrinsic, something that I didn't learn from the 8 modules, something that I just learned along the way. And that is the realization that finance is deeply personal. And that being personal, it means that every RFP graduate comes away with a different takeaway. And for me, that is real wealth is not about having more, but it's about needing less and becoming more. So financial minimalism is not about depriving yourself, but it's about being content with what you have. And when you need less, you worry less. And when you worry less, you live more. And I think living more is what's most important.
Okay, so right now, how did RFP shape you or shift you in financial growth?
So, uh, in the beginning, RFP inspired me to be like a sponge, to learn everything that I can, to try everything that I can. But 11 years later, I see it with a new perspective. Now I'm not afraid to say I don't know. Now I am comfortable with not knowing everything, not knowing all the new trends when it comes to investing. And I think RFP helped me a lot in navigating that shift because since I know the basics already. I have this foundation already from what I've learned from the program and from all the mistakes that I've made before. Now it's easier for me to make a decision to just stick to what I think works and to let go of everything that doesn't.
Okay, do you recommend ba yung RFP to other people na mag-join sila kasi it changed your life financially, ganun?
Yes, especially join while you're young. Because and um take the opportunity while you have more time, just like what I did, because I'm not sure. Maybe if I started at a later age, I wouldn't experience all those opportunities. And I think what sets me apart before, that's why they get me as a speaker, is your market is bigger. So, for example, since I was young, when we talk about financial literacy, I can navigate kids' financial literacy, teens' financial literacy. So you have a lot of avenue. So I would advise that you start young.
Okay, so do you have, you mentioned na may direct client ka, di ba?
Yes.
Is that also related to finance?
Yes, actually, she's a CFO and we do bookkeeping for law firms.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I handle the corporate operations in the company. But it's not really personal finances ng
Ah,
business
okay, so parang
itself.
hindi ka nagbibigay ng advice
Hindi.
when it comes to finance. Okay, so right now, what is, for our viewers and listeners, what is the most valuable lesson that you can share na you can instill to their minds na ganito yung gawin aside from start financially at a young age?
Mhm. Three things. First is know yourself, know your values. As Roy Disney says, when your values are clear to you, making a decision becomes easier. Second is don't compare yourself to other people. I know it's hard. It's very, very hard. But I also believe that it's doable. Just curate your environment where jealousy and envy can take root. And third, keep your life and your finances in order. because order is the antidote to chaos. And when your finances are in order, you will experience peace, and peace is priceless.
Are you at peace now, right? In terms of finance.
Yes, very much, but not because I have enough, but I do think I'm not anxious anymore, just like before. And I think um, peace happens not because you don't have expenses anymore. It happens because you're not anxious anymore. And I'm very blessed because I have learned or I have experienced all those things before. So right now I am in the position na I found the secret strategy. Kumbaga, I know what works for me, and I'm sure it will not work for anyone. If I would leave one thing, I think for me, financial minimalism really works to just maintain to investment, to have this kind of saving strategy. I'm very blessed that I found that strategy because that's what really give me peace. And for others, and I recognize that it's not what they want. They want to try a lot, but for me, that's what works, and I'm very thankful.
Right, that's very great to hear. Before we wrap this interview, do you have any social media accounts or public accounts that you can promote?
Um, I am Jhoana Ruiz, PhD RFP, both in Facebook and Instagram. So if anyone wants to reach out, that's the best way.
All right, thank you so much for. And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you love diving into money stories as much as we do, make sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify, or visit our official website at rfp.ph for more financial insights. Until next time, keep chasing those money moves.